96% of the workforce, their livelihood depend on agriculture. And yet, the paradox is it contributes only to 18% of India's GDP. And why is that? What are the structural changes that are needed, and what are the constraints and the economic pressure that the farmers are facing? Let's dive into that one. And if we talk about the economic stress, we are literally talking about the life and death. If you look at the National Crime Records Bureau of India, in the last 5 years, about 10 to 12, 11,000 people are committing suicides in the farm sector, be it agricultural labor or the farmers. So the strain is real. And we have identified them into 3 different verticals. The first one is the high debt pressure and the input costs, of course. Over 86% of Indian farmers possess very little land. Marginal farmers, less than 2 hectares each, and they cannot have the economies of scale because of that. And because of that, 50% of the farmers are always in debt in some point or the other. And second most important one that affects the farmers is the climate. Climate, like Indian farmers Indian agriculture is acutely dependent on climate. It's completely climate sensitive. 50.5% of the land is rain fed. In fact, I remember one of my village men talking to me some time ago. He said how he faced one challenge in the early 1990s when the rain fed farm is going to have at the verge of extension because of there are no rains, and how one guy lifted water from one source of water to the other source so that their farms can be irrigated. And he said, you should be proud of him. I didn't understand at that time, but later I realized that he was my father who did that. So climate sensitive and dependence is real. And in one of the surveys says that 5% of a deviation from the normal rainfall is significantly contributing to higher number of farmers' suicides. And third one we see is the market issues. The unviable agriculture is really straining them. The small land holdings cannot sustain the economies of scale. They cannot have them, and they are forced to perform something called the distress sales. And the urgency, it eats away the negotiation. They do not have any bargaining power. And the distress sale is very much real because the perishable quantities like fruits and vegetables, right now we have only less than 2% of processing in India. And they have to sell by the evening, or else they have to throw it on the road and then go empty-handed to their homes. So if we are, we don't want to look only at these 3 things. So one part that we are trying to solve is the post-harvest losses. Look at the scale at the national level. About 30 to 40% of the produced food is being wasted before it reaches any customer. And if you look at from the national level to the state or the province level, I come from Telangana, the state. 8,200 cold storage, having about 1.5 million tons of cold storage, but it's not just enough. And look at my own district. I come from Waterloo, so we have a lot of cold storages, but 95% of the existing cold storage infrastructure in my district is not suitable for fruits and vegetables. Maybe because of not multi-usage, because they maintain all the same temperatures for one type of crop. That's mirchi. 55% of the existing infrastructure is being used only for storing mirchi, the high-value cash crop, and the marginal farmers who are producing fruits and vegetables are nowhere catered to them. So there is an urgent need for the localized cold storage for perishables, and we wanted to confirm that again by kind of a survey that I will let you know. And the third one is the debt crisis. As I told, 87% are labeled credit risky by banks because of this they cannot access any formal credit, and hence they rely on the local money lenders. The predatory interest rate of 75% per annum, they are not going to come out of the debt cycle, never. And then sometimes they have to repay these mortgages by just mortgaging the future crops. It's like a debt cycle year on year, and it just increases, and then the suicides. So we wanted to confirm these 3 these three problems if they are already real. So the first one we try to do is we came up with a survey sheet. We draw some of the questions, how we frame this one. We draw some inspiration on the investigation negotiation that we talked about in class. So we came up with a bilingual questionnaire of 4 sheets to confirm whether those 3 verticals, the problems, that whether they are real or not. And then we got some of the survey answers as well. And the other one is the recent Instagram live that I was attending. So he's the local Instagram influencer in my area. So about 97% were attending at that time. And if you look at, see, many comments were like this: what about the vegetables that has low shelf life, such as tomatoes, leafy vegetables? Some was asking what is the present price. Some were asking for loans, and some were asking how to meet the potential buyers. It's not just one single Instagram live. We have also accessed many survey sheets by the agricultural universities, and then we came up these summarized findings of all the surveys that we got and the agricultural universities and the professors that they surveyed in our local areas. So 80% of them has to sell within a day to avoid spoilage, and they clearly say that they have a lack of adequate cold storage, and middlemen are eating about 10-20% of their margins, and they don't have any smartphones. Right now they're at 60%, but not many of them are still able to use any digital access. But they're willing to explore or get out of that debt cycle from the local money lender. So they some kind of a warehouse receipt kind of thing, or sometimes they say we need something, but they don't know what. So for these problems, we try to address the three verticals that we have addressed. We have checked whether the existing solutions in place are why they are not able to solve those problems. So if you look at the traditional cold storages right now, they have to transport a long distance to get into that place, and the costs are very high that the marginal farmer cannot afford. And there has to be a minimum volume. A small farmer in 1 or 2 acres with some small produce, he cannot go to a big warehouse with 1,000-2,000 tons capacity and then store his produce, and then he can't get it back. And as I said, in my own district, 55% is still used only for one high value cash crop, mirchi. So there is a clear market gap in this one, and we try to see what are all the other competitors in this area. We have some companies called Ecozen and InnoCool, but they are simply manufacturing. I think Ecozen is manufacturing a small cold room of 5 to 10 ton capacity for about 1.5 million rupees, like 15 lakh rupees. But they are just suppliers of the hardware. I mean, the equipment. They are not the service provider. Someone has to buy them, put them, and then give to the customers the service. And we can also look at the refrigerated truck operators or the cold warehouse chains, but they are all localized. They are all catering only for the agri businesses, big agri businesses, and export supply chains, but not for the marginal farmers. And if you look at the digital marketplace, because the market reality is also one of the big problems, they cannot realize their own price. We have a lot of players right now. We have Ninja Cart, Dayhart, AgriBudget. Some are even going a step forward and giving input ideas or some kind of solution in terms of increasing their yield in agriculture too. But they are just the marketplace. They are not on the ground. And most importantly, as I was looking at, India is divided into 3 parts: India 1, 2, and 3. So India 1 is like the most affluent people. India 2 is the next level of people aspiring. But about 80% or 75% is still India 3. So all these platforms are only catering the top 2 tiers. Either they are in highly urbanized areas like Delhi, Hyderabad, or some other places, or maybe some tier 2 cities, but they are not reaching to the ground level. So there is a clear market gap in these 2. And if you look at the credit aspect of that one, we have some formal credits called the Kisan credit card backed by government, but the proliferance into the field is very low, and given the scale of the farmers in India, it is very slow. We have other types of credits, but right now they are not catering to the farmers. So we thought of, with these problems in mind, when we had some kind of a solution in our mind, but we wanted to incorporate the idea space worksheet. So when we started that, we just wanted to think whether what is the blue sky idea, what is the outer space idea. My friends, when we were discussing, we said that, okay, we have a farmer with his farm. So how do we increase his income? What does he have? He has some land. But what else can we do in terms of increasing his income? Then we literally came up like a blue sky idea. We have what we call the carbon credits right now. He's literally capturing the carbon dioxide from air and sequestering it into ground. Why can't he make money out of that? Right now, the carbon credit is one of the booming industry. With India opening its carbon exchange in next year, 2026, it is one of the promising industry. Right now, it is still booming, but still there is some kind of a hope for this. I think even Elon Musk has earned about $2 billion last year from carbon credits by just using renewable energy certificate. The carbon credits using renewable energy. So this is one idea that we wanted to get in, but we want to. So these are the players right now in carbon farming, Grow Indigo and Climate Seed. But before that, we wanted to create one integrated digital and physical solution to solve that cold storage problem and the digital marketplace problem. So we are trying to install some fresh pods of 5 to 10 ton storage, solar powered at the village level, which will be solving that problem of local storage. And they are like 5 to 10 ton capacity, solar powered and battery powered. It will be operated by the local people. We will train them, and the pay-per-use pricing as low as 0.5 rupees per kg per day. And we have also analyzed the economics of it. With 300 days operation, 70% occupancy rate, and even we finance that one with some kind of a bank and pay the interest. And only with 70% of occupancy for 300 days of operation, with 2 people hired on the minimum wage, we will break even in 2.5 years. That's only by leasing. But we wanted to connect that one with some kind of a platform exchange kind of thing. Then we came up with this idea of FarmX, the digital platform. So we are building an app or a website where it can be easily accessible, just like in any other app. I'll just give you a small demo of it anyway, and then based on that particular collateral, we can have that as a collateral and give some marginal loans to that farmers. So right now it's like they are keeping their produce, mortgaging their produce, and then they will get cheap loans. So right now what we think, if the farmer may think like, if I want any cheap credit, then I have to go to these guys first, put my storage for some time, and then I can get some kind of a cheap loan instead of selling low at some other price. That's also one of the key drivers that we are looking at. And then, so the strategic rationale would be, we are solving the storage problem and the finance and the market access for the farmers. And we think that it gives a lot of value to the farmers because of better bargaining power, because they can bring their produce at the right time to the market. And we are thinking of executing in this way. So these are the guys that these two people are my friends. So they recently attended the National Spice Conference in India, just I think 10-15 days ago. So they have the capability of trading mirchi. So right now we want to use that one as the backbone, and then we want to create a minimum viable product for only trading, and then we will try to capture the farmers and the buyers onto our platform. And how we are going to do that? We will select. We are trying to select a fresh pod location. So the blue ones are the proposed locations for our project, and the red ones here are the nearest big cold storage facilities right now around this hub. Here there are the existing 95% of the cold storage in the district is only here, and nothing beyond 30 or 25 kilometers away. So everyone has to come here, wait here. If there is no space, they have to sell it off and then go back. So these are the locations that we were trying to finalize, but I think I have to give credit to Sandy on that day, how she used the QR code for the scanning. So we came up with this kind of survey. So we identified two local engineering colleges located around here. So we wanted to make a survey with the local college guys, giving the survey sheet, so that whether that location is appropriate to go ahead. So that's how we are trying to execute that one. And the market risk, it's almost
if you have a demo, like why don't you show it right away?
Yeah, sure. So if you look at the website that we are trying to build, this is the prototype of the website, and then we have different users for that one. A farmer can simply sign up, and then one second. So here, so he can just simply register his new produce, whether it's mirchi or the others, depending on the location, the quantity, and the storage part that he's trying to access. And then once he can also view different market prices from different locations. We are using the APIs for this one, still not loading, but yeah, right here. So this is how we can get all the local market price rates for this one, and he can access the offers that the buyer has given. He can access apply for credit or my listings and buyer offers. It would be the same for admin. So we have these survey analytics as well. So we will be coordinating these survey analytics, and then the admin dashboard will be able to find some insights from the surveys. And if you look at the buyer, it would be the same. He can list the available. He can see the available produce listed by the farmers, and he can just place offer for that particular offer, and then it will be automatically alerting the farmer, and then he can accept. And then we are allowing multiple bids for each product, so that he can negotiate with the best offer, and then he can go ahead. Right now we do not have any physical infrastructure. We try to put it one, but we will start with this digital product first, and then we will decide which location we want to start. And the capital is a little bit higher because we are not backed by any venture capitalist or something. But we will definitely start this one in future, and then hope for the best.
Thank you so much.